All right. Hello there, my friends. Got a couple people streaming in. Good to see y'all. Sans Serif, Angela Radlove, Sergeant Mo. What is up, my friends? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Today's not my birthday. It's a little belated, but it was within the past few days. I just happened to be out on the road and unable to do the stream on the actual day itself. But I figured, hey, why not? I got the lights down low, nice mood lighting today. And that's because I'm very tired. I'm going to tell you guys what happened to me in the past 24 hours in a little bit. But if I had all the lights on, you would see how tired I am right now. And the lower lighting helps me be a little bit more relaxed and not be succumbing to the ills of tiredness. Who we got here? Scarlet Witch, Master Panda, Unknown Comic. Hello there, my friends. Yeah, I had some, my birthday was the other day. I was out on business, but I was able to get myself some chicken and waffles, a nice slice of Oreo cheesecake, one of my favorite desserts, and I treated myself that day. It was pretty nice. Tariko, what's up, my friend? Good to see you all. Alright, so we have, while I was away, I took some of my spare time to prepare a ton of different stories. I don't know if you guys know about my typical workflow, but I kind of have to write the stories myself. I never just take a story and write it and read it as is. I always do something to it to kind of tailor it to my personal style. So that's part of the reason why it used to take me so long to do these uploads, or regular uploads rather. And my new technique that I've been doing, I will get these updates and stuff out of the way first, and then once a couple more people get in, I'll start actually presenting a few stories. I'm not going to be on super long tonight, because like I said, I'm freaking really tired. But yeah, I've been developing this technique where I write up a whole bunch of stories and then pick and choose which ones I'm going to do for a stream. But I was able to get so many written during this past week because I was kind of just out in a solitary type environment for a while. I had enough to where I'm going to actually give you guys some options. I'm going to give you the choice of which, probably 3, maybe 4 stories. I'm trying to be on for like 2 hours or so right now tonight because, like I said, I'm really tired. Probably going to say that a few more times during this stream. But in a couple minutes, I'll throw some things out there, and you guys can vote on which ones you want to hear first. Samantha, hello there, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Let's see here. Jessica, hello. Thank you very much. It's good to see you too. All right. Yeah. Turtle cheesecake, Scarlet Witch. That's got to be pretty good. They almost got me with the tiramisu cheesecake, which I'm sure would have been phenomenal, but if I see something with cookies and cream of any sort, probably going to go for it. Yeah, it's really dark in here right now, but I assure you my reading situation is pretty good. It's not going to be a problem. All right. Looks like we're not getting a whole bunch of people right now, so I'll just tell you guys what happened real quick. So last night, I've been in a hotel for the past week. I was out working at a remote location and staying at a hotel by myself every night. Last night, I get woken up at about 1 in the morning to hear chanting, like maybe 5 female voices chanting. And I'm not sure. It sounded like some kind of sorority thing or something like that. And I woke up 1:30 in the morning. I got up out of my bed because of this extremely boisterous chanting that was accompanied by some loud bass music. Sounds like some kind of trap music. And I went around, I looked out the window. It sounded like the people might have been outside. I looked in my peephole to see if they were in the hallway. But when I opened my door just to see what was going on, I realized it was actually the room right next to me was full of people. I could smell pungent smell of liquor coming from there, just wafting out from underneath the door and into my nostrils. It was very intense. I heard at least one male voice yelling and talking constantly. And again, this is like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know, I really didn't want to, I wasn't going to knock on the door. I didn't feel like calling security or calling the front desk or anything on them. So I just laid in my bed for about 2 hours before they finally calmed down. The partying that was going on over there seemed to sort of evolve into something more along the lines of debauchery, for a lack of a better term. It was quite clear what the events of that drunken soiree had led to there, if you catch my drift. And after a few minutes of that, everything suddenly quieted down completely, which was much to my benefit, because then it was maybe about 3 in the morning where I finally got to go to sleep. Then, of course, I drove 500 miles and got home, and here I am right now. So it is what it is. I'm going to try to get a couple. See, I got one more upload ready to go on Monday. And if I didn't do a stream tonight, I would have to be kind of doing a crunch time situation, which I didn't really feel like doing. And I figured just hang out with a couple of y'all today. Short notice, I know, I think I just mentioned it yesterday for the first time. And, you know, maybe I can get 2 or 3 stories out. That'll be good enough. And then I'll do another one in a couple weeks and get that done. Gabe, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Shin Fitz, my man. Nuno. And Eric Ramakan. I don't recognize that name. Good to have you here, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Let me see here. I'm gonna, just so everybody knows what's up, I'm going to throw this thing on there. Yeah, just so you guys know, this is a special stream. It's going to be especially short compared to my normal 3-4 hour binge readings, but, you know, there it is. Vernon Long, hello there, my friend. Santiago Diablos, hello there, my friend. Glad to have you with us. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Good to see you. Santiago Diablos. A very fervent dreamer on my channel. Very much appreciated, as always. Henry Vong, hello there, my friend. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Alright, so let's get into this. We got a few people here going. Got some chats happening. You guys know the deal. Most of you probably know. You folks know the deal for the most part. Onai17, hello there, my friend. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Appreciate you. All right, so I've got, I think, 10 stories ready to read right now. They're edited and they're good. They're good to go. All great stories. You guys know I don't share stories with you that are whack. So I'm gonna start naming some titles, and I want you all to tell me which. If you hear one, type it in. If you're one that strikes your fancy or that you really want to listen to right now, because I'm only going to do like 2 or 3, let me know. Just type the name or something in the chat. Who gives a ... Thank you. Happy birthday, Mr. X. Love your content. Appreciate it, my friend. Glad to hear that. All right, let's see. So I got some stories here. All right. I got 1 alien story. I got 5 cryptid stories, 2 demon stories, 1 ghost story, and 1 glitch story. So what I want to know from you all, we'll go with that for the first story. What general topic do you want to hear first? Alien, cryptid, demon, ghost, glitch. You guys let me know. Destiny Weeks, hello there, my friend. Okay. All right, Who Gives a? We got our first sponsor for today. Who Gives a? Thank you very much, with the dancing pear character there. I appreciate it, my friend. Those little things are pretty funny. All right, I need to get my sponsors thing up. So, as you all know, most of you probably know, anyone who does a super chat is automatically going to be listed as a sponsor for the videos that come out from these stories. Yeah, keep typing in what you want to hear, and I'll go for the first, whichever one's got the most votes, whatever genre has the most votes, I'll pick something from there, just so we don't have to be too redundant here. I'm seeing a bunch of cryptids and almost the same number of aliens. We're going to have to get a tiebreaker here. Let's see, maybe I should give extra voting power to my former sponsors, like folks that have sponsored the videos before. Maybe I should give you guys a little bit of extra sway there. Now that wouldn't be very democratic of me, though, I don't think. Can't buy me off with your super chats. Lee Underhill, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. All right. Okay. So I'm looking, I'm seeing more aliens than anything. I got one alien story, so that's, and it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's brand new. It's never been done before on this channel or any channel because somebody sent it to me a couple of years ago. I don't think I ever got around to writing it up. Abdi, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Oh, our second sponsor of the day. Thank you so much. Let's see, here's a little something for you. Keep up the great work. We really appreciate your time and dedication. Enjoy your day, friend. Henry Vong, thank you very much for the kind words and the donation, and for becoming a sponsor of the Mr. X Dreams show. Super dope. All right. So, we got a, hello there, Cindy. Only thing you missed so far is the vote for what genre of story to read. I'm going to read like 2 or 3 stories tonight because I'm super tired. And you also missed the story of why I'm super tired is because there was a possible orgy or something happening in the hotel room next door. And then I drove 500 miles to come home this morning. So there you go. You're all caught up. Let's see. Okay, Samantha, you're down with aliens. And then, yeah. Yeah, you might as well take care of that one right now. Hey, Santiago Diablos, please do the hinterkaifik moodters. I don't know what that means. And I'm sure I didn't even pronounce that properly. You're gonna have to let me know what that means. I believe that's German, right? All right, so we're starting with aliens. The title of this story is Lights in the Sky. And in just a second, I'll read that. And then once we're done with that, I will give you guys another, I'll give you guys another little, vote on what to do next. Shinfits, another sponsor. Thank you so much, my friend. Old friend Shinfits. Let's see. I think Mr. X, King of the Dream Realm and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and the Protector of the Realm, has a birthday like everyone else. Yes, my friend, I was conceived and brought into this earth in the same exact way as you were. Angela Radlove, thank you so much for your donation as well. Sponsoring the channel. You guys are awesome. Cindy, oh my goodness. Cindy always comes through with the sponsorship deal. Cindy's like my version of Nike, almost. Always helping me out. Thank you so much, Cindy. These are, and you guys are contributing to my my birthday fund, so that I can one day upgrade my computer. That would be amazing, and that's like the ultimate goal for me as far as fundraising and stuff like that. Because my computer, the stuff that I want to do with it for this channel, it's starting to get a little bit dated for what I want, and you all are helping me hardcore. Yeah, Cindy Nike. Yeah, that's your new designation. All right, so we're going to get into this alien story, and then I will be right back with you. Let's go over to story time mode. All right, actually, I gotta turn off that music. Almost started reading with it, and that would have been kind of weird, wouldn't it? All right, let's get some heavy rain. It's nice and late. I like the ambiance in here. Oh yeah, before I start, remember, by the end of the story, if you guys have any interesting things to add or any questions about the story itself or comments, I'm relying on you to engage and give me some information, give me some stuff to talk about in the discussion session afterwards. So I'll give you a prompt later on, but listen closely to the story, and if you hear anything really interesting, or anything comes to mind, keep it in the back of your mind so that you can, when I prompt you, you'll be able to contribute to the discussion. That'd be really cool. Hello, Reed. I'm glad you made it to the stream. All right, story number 1. Let's do this. It's an old question. Are we alone in this vast universe? Are we the only beings capable of venturing into the black void of space in search of new worlds? If you ask me, the better question is, in this nearly endless ocean of potential, how could we possibly be alone? Listen to these stories and let me know how you would answer these thought-provoking questions. Hello there, Mr. X. My name is Rachel. I've been meaning to contact you to share my experiences for well over a year now. Sorry it's taken me so long. I know you don't talk about UFOs very often on your channel, but I hope you'll find some interest in what I'm about to share. Even if you don't end up talking about it, I just have to tell someone about what I've seen. These were some strange UFO sightings, and a couple of close encounters as well. The first sighting I had was over 20 years ago. It was early one afternoon in broad daylight. I was in high school at the time, just looking out a classroom window. I noticed a metallic shape in the distance. It glided through the air at a constant pace like an airplane. I watched it with indifference until it stopped dead in the sky. I found myself perplexed, staring at something that felt completely impossible. The object then suddenly took off, astonishingly fast, in the opposite diagonal direction. I was shocked. I awkwardly looked around at my classmates to see if anyone else saw it. Sadly, I was the only one staring at the window at that moment. Fortunately, my later sightings were in the company of others who can verify what was seen. I can't tell you whether they were metallic or not, as I only saw what appeared to be white and red lights in the sky. It's hard to explain, but I actually got the sense that the objects may have been made entirely of light. I know it seems odd, but I've honestly lost count of how many I've seen. I'll describe the most notable ones. One night, I was up late drinking beers with my sister. We decided to stargaze and sat out on my porch facing west. After a little while, we both noticed a red orb, very large, in the sky. It was at least 20 to 30 miles out and fairly high up. We discussed whether it may have been Mars or some planet that became visible, as they do throughout the seasons, but it was obviously much too big and too bright. As we debated it, several smaller red lights appeared around the object and slowly began to be sort of sucked into the larger orb. At least 5 lesser orbs that we could count were seemingly absorbed before the largest one suddenly shot off at lightning speed, straight upward and out of our view. We still talk about it to this day whenever we're together. I realize it may have been some kind of bizarre military craft, but I really can't imagine human beings building such a thing. It was strange, definitely otherworldly in appearance. The objects moved so organically. It was as if they were alive. That was the only time I saw a red-colored object. The rest of my sightings have all been similar in appearance and behavior, but each has been a large orb of white. that appeared to swim or move like a magnet sliding along the sky. Always in strange directions like no human craft I've ever seen could possibly maneuver. The object seemed to pulsate with life, almost having an air of sentience. Most of the time, I've seen these things with others who confirmed that they were seeing the same as I did, so I know it wasn't just my eyes playing tricks on me. The strangest by far is something I've only witnessed twice. One day, I was with a friend laying in the grass at a public park, staring at the stars as I love to do. I noticed movement in the dark sky. I was expecting to focus my eyes and find a bat or an owl, something completely mundane for the setting. Suddenly, I saw that a huge object was moving through the sky. It was like a gigantic, soaring bird made of stars passed directly over us. I say made of stars because either the stars were somehow reflected or projected off of it, or perhaps it was just clear like glass. I saw this object on 2 separate occasions. Both times it frightened myself and the other person greatly because of how big and utterly bizarre it was. I couldn't tell in the dark how high up it was, but the mere presence of it felt utterly massive. Now for the more personal encounters. My first close encounter with what I believe to be an extraterrestrial happened when I was in grade school. I remember distinctly that it was Valentine's Day and I was homesick with the flu. I've considered the possibility this may have been some sort of fever dream. I've had very intense and lucid fever dreams before, so I know I could be responsible for what I saw myself in my own mind. However, I believe this all may have been real as it felt. It was the evening of Valentine's Day, and I was sick in bed with a fever that peaked at about 103 degrees. It's important to note that my bed was in the corner of my room, with one side up against the wall. I was in agony, tossing and turning as I tried to fall asleep, when I felt a presence enter my room. Not looking, I assumed it was my mother coming in to check on me, so the feeling of someone being in there sort of put me at ease. I felt a hand slip over my forehead, and I figured she was checking my temperature. It took me a second to realize that the hand was coming from the side of my bed that was pressed all the way against the wall. There was no way anyone could have possibly been standing there. I opened my eyes and saw a strange-looking hand resting slightly above my face. It was wispy and thin, with long, spindly fingers. It had a slight, iridescent glow to it I could barely perceive. I was horrified beyond anything I could possibly describe. The stress of seeing it caused me to lose consciousness almost immediately. I still don't know if I was deliberately put to sleep or if I simply passed out from the sheer terror. I awoke the next day feeling a bit strange, but perfectly energetic and healthy. My fever was completely gone. The second encounter happened years later in 2012. This one also happened while I was in bed, but still, I do believe it was a real, waking occurrence. I've never had a single sleep paralysis incident in my life, so if this was one somehow, it would have been the only one, as far as I know. One night as I slept, my dreams were interrupted suddenly. I awoke lying on my back in complete darkness. I looked up, and above me, I saw what seemed to be a mass of murky, swirling water. On the other side of this wall of water, I could make out an alien-looking figure. It had long arms and an emaciated frame. the familiar spindly fingers I had seen before. I then had an experience I could only describe as leaving my body behind, as my view shifted, pulled up through the watery substance and into a long, winding tunnel or tube of liquid. I was moving through the tunnel at extremely high speed as my home, and soon the entire earth itself, receded behind me. I couldn't feel anything as I ascended through the atmosphere. After I made it through, I began feeling a tingling, electric sensation all around me. It gave me the sense that my physical body was actually dying. As soon as the panic of impending death hit me, I was sent flying back down the tube and back to Earth. I woke up in my bed, completely out of breath and enveloped in a cold, panicking sweat. To this day, I wonder what exactly did happen to me that night. I'm not sure if I ever want to find out, to be honest. Thank you for your time, Mr. X. I hope you found some interest in these accounts. Sincerely, Rachel. All right, folks, let's take a pause for a second here. And, okay. Hey there, Jessica D, with a super chat, becoming another amazing sponsor for the Mr. X Dreams show tonight. I appreciate you, my friend. Let me see what you said there. Wishing you a wonderful birthday and many more. I appreciate all the birthday wishes, my friends. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate the support. Let me see here. Dogman and Strange Lights do often go together, unknown comic. Let's see what else. Lila Catherine, Casey Christian, Night Companion, The Acolyte. And my man Alex, what's up? Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Appreciate you. All right, so what I'm going to do is read my thoughts on this story. And actually, now that I reread it, I do believe this is a remastering of one. I totally rewrote the story, so it's a little different experience. But I believe I did speak about this before, but it's going to be different now because I've got some new thoughts, and I've got you all listening live to actually give your thoughts on it. So while I'm reading my comments and asking some questions on my part, I would like for you folks that are listening now to give me some good comments and questions or anything that might be crossing your mind regarding this story so that I can immortalize your opinions and add them into the video when it comes out. That would be awesome. So I think Gabe's got one already. Awesome. Thank you, Gabe. And so I'm going to go back and read my comments that I wrote down, talk about that for a second, and then I'll revisit you all. I'll give you a few seconds to a couple minutes to throw your 2 cents into the hat. All right. Hey there, my friends. Mr. X Dreams here. So, I have a few thoughts on this story before I get into the dreamers' comments. As you may know, if you've been here with me on this channel for a while, anytime someone has an experience while in proximity of a bed or another sleeping area, I sort of take that as, without a negative connotation, sort of take it as a red flag. Gives me the idea that perhaps there's a possibility. So when someone mentions that they're laying down trying to sleep, or they just woke up for a nap, or they were sleeping and then all of a sudden something happened to wake them up, the possibility of their story being a dream or even sleep paralysis, in my mind, it goes up dramatically. So just this morning, as I was writing this, I lost about 2 hours of sleep, literally in an instant, as I laid in bed trying to fall asleep. So I know firsthand what that twilight sleep mind state can do to one's perceptions. Not to mention the fact that I've experienced enough truly disturbing sleep paralysis events to know how real they can feel. When I saw the vision of a little, well, not really a little, but maybe 4 foot tall, completely jet black, crystal looking baby approach my bed and bite my hand, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was having sleep paralysis. It felt completely real in the moment. So yeah, I know how real it can be. However, I want you to consider something here. There are some who believe extraterrestrials may exist beyond the reach of our physical perceptions. If indeed there are such things as interdimensional or otherwise immaterial entities from other worlds, what if the only way for us to perceive them is from a dreamlike state? If that were the case, how could we possibly discount even the most obvious cases of alien encounters that took place in one's dreams? It's an interesting thought, if you ask me. Now, with that said, I have to acknowledge that there are many other possibilities with regards to Rachel's stories, as earnestly presented as they were, and I always take people at their word until they give me explicit reasons not to. One possibility is that, honestly, she really saw the amazing things that she reported to us. So, let's take those reports at face value for a moment, and I'm going to ask you some questions about it. So, what do you make of the small red orbs getting absorbed into the larger one before it zoomed off? I personally was wondering if perhaps it was a function of this craft's propulsion system, if it is a craft, like a spacecraft or aircraft. Or maybe those were smaller crafts returning to their mothership, for example, after an Earth reconnaissance mission or something like that. Who knows? Rachel said that some of the objects she saw seemed sentient. And it made me think, imagine the feeling of seeing something, an object, a mysterious thing, and knowing somehow, inexplicably, that that thing might be seeing you as well, thinking about you, acknowledging you. It's sort of a haunting thought in the context of mysterious lights in the sky. Such fascinating descriptions of the things that she saw, like looking up at the night sky and seeing what looked like a living, moving bird, but made of transparent glass, refracting the starlight of the sky as it soared over you. Must have been a truly breathtaking sight. I can only imagine. And last but not least, imagine the feeling of a strange hand touching your face in the middle of the night. Although this instance was probably the most likely to be a dream sequence, it's still a very haunting image. Not to mention the feeling of almost having your astral form severed from your earthly body. So, let's start off the conversation. Number 1, do you think aliens really exist? And have you seen anything to make you believe one way or the other? What do you imagine extraterrestrial beings would be like if they did exist? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. So now, I'm going to open up the floor for the dreamers listening live to weigh in. Remember, if you want a chance at your question or comment showing up in a future video, turn on notifications so you can catch me reading live and join in on the discussion. You'll even have a chance to become a sponsor of the show. All right, let's see what we got here. I know we got a couple of good comments in here. I'm going to plug in Gabe's comment. If anybody else has anything more to add to the conversation, I'm more than happy to add that into the mix here. Reed, he says something interesting there. Yeah, definitely hit like if you haven't already, folks. Let's see. Ooh. Casey, you mentioned DMT. I do have a DMT related story that is pretty insane. I might veto everybody's vote and just do that one next to make sure I get it out here. All right, I got a couple of good comments here. Last call for comments. I got enough. I think I got enough for what I need for this video. Let's see. Who's Joe? I don't know who that is, Alex. All right. Miss Raina V, thank you for the birthday wishes, my friend. Michael N, the birthday was mine recently. TSM rapper, respect to you as well, my friend. All right. Okay. So let's finish this one up. So Gabe Mesa says, I've seen the same ones that look like balls of light or fire. A bunch of them all together flashing in and out and moving in all directions, but staying in the same area. Nothing like normal planes. Yeah, I would imagine we tend to sort of assume, if we see something out of the corner of our eye, we'll probably assume as long as we can that, yeah, this is a normal phenomenon, totally mundane. It's a plane or something like that we're seeing. But there sometimes comes a point where we get that visceral realization that it affects your whole body, where you kind of tighten up and you're like, wait a minute, that is not what I thought it was, and that is not okay. So I sympathize with people who see things in the sky and realize at some point, like, no, that is not a normal plane. That's not what my brain was hoping it was. And as a old school dreamers know, I've been within rock throwing distance of something that was not supposed to be in the sky hovering over me. And some craziness happened after that. And I'll save that for another time. Or most of you probably have heard the story 10 times already anyway. So Reed says, concerning the red orbs, sounds sort of like a mothership. Maybe the smaller orbs were sent to scout and observe, and they all had to return to the main one. Like the small ones couldn't leave on their own. Yeah, that was one of the two. That's actually probably the better of the two hypotheses that I kind of had. I mean, it would make sense that a small, light, and probably much faster craft, although I mean those things move so fast, how could you really get much faster than the way they move? But it's a really interesting idea, and if they were doing that, scouting around, I wonder why. Why would what's the use of that? We don't have anything that would be very much of interest to them, I would assume. But who am I? What do I know? KC Christian says, so is the sleep paralysis similar to the things people see on DMT? Not to go all Joe Rogan on you. And Casey also says, I think it would be arrogant to think that aliens didn't exist. So two things there. The sleep paralysis and DMT stuff. DMT is a whole other level. That's like changing your brain chemistry and going through inexplicable experiences. That, I mean, I'm sure we do have the capacity to go through crazy stuff during sleep paralysis that's probably on par with that, but I can't say that I've ever heard anything that extreme when it comes to sleep paralysis. We're going to talk about DMT in another story a little bit later on. It'll be a different video from this one, but yeah, that's another animal. All right, so we need to, before we wrap this up, we got to come up with a code word for this video. I'm going to use the magic of editing to source one from the dreamers listening live right now, and I'll be right back. All right, folks. Okay, wait a minute. Cancionero, I guess. They don't have the Enye in there. I think cancionero. Wait a minute. Cancionero. Okay, there we go. Cancionero. Thank you very much, my friend. I can't say I've seen you here before, but I appreciate it. I've never got a super chat in yen before, but you're now a sponsor for this video. Thank you so much. Happy birthday from Tokyo. Thank you for being our reading voice, and have a great birthday with family. Thank you very much, my friend. I was alone for my actual birthday, but I'm with family now, so that's all that matters. I made it back. Made it home. Let's see. Dark Phoenix, happy birthday. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes, my friend. And, yeah, Vernon Long, Mothership. Very simple, concise. Love it. That is a good code word. Okay. That's going to be the code word. Good job. All right, so I have consulted with the Dreamer live chat, my friends, and the brilliant Dreamer, Vernon Long, came up single-handedly with the code word Mothership. If you're listening to this part of the video, type in Mothership, work it into your comment down below. Be clever with it. Do something fun so I can see you. Until next time, my friends, I'm Mr. X, and may your nights be full of dreams. All right. So I'm going to export this while I pull up the next story. Wow, the heavy rain ran out just in time. That's pretty cool. All right, so I took 49 minutes to do just one story. Might have to step it up a little bit, but we're all having fun, so... Well, at least I hope we are. I know I am. All right, let's see here. Save that. All right, next story. Okay, so I have, where is this one? There's a story. Remember I told you guys I got 2 demon stories today in the hip pocket, ready to go. One of those is entitled DMT Entity Encounter. And, I mean, I'm just saying, I thought it was pretty wild. I think this one actually has 2 stories in it. 2 stories in one. What do you all think of that? That or cryptid stuff. I got a redux of a couple really old videos that y'all haven't seen in a while. A couple that you may not have heard before. I might not have done them. And then I have a couple. I got one from Reddit. No, three from Reddit. One demon story, one ghost story, and one glitch story from Reddit. It's like a kind of a dimensional slip glitch story. I've got a story out of India that I got from Reddit. I got a story about a ghostly female entity that follows this guy around whenever he's in water. And I got this DMT thing. I think the DMT one was actually an email that I got. All right, let's see. Oh wow, I missed a few of these things. I hope my mother ships my jacket soon. Nice. Lila, Catherine, you said the background is fire. Thank you. It looks totally different when I have the overhead lights off. I kind of like the way it looks. Looks pretty cool. UK lady, hello there, my friend. Monica Corville, just getting in. All right, you're in for a treat because there's another story coming right up. Demons and DMT, that can get tongue twisty. Yes, it can. UK lady, your favorite are glitches. So you, UK lady, you must be a newer attendee to these live streams. So the glitch story is pretty interesting. I'm seeing a couple of people. Maybe I'll do those two before I get out of here. Do the DMT one. I'm getting a couple of really DMT. Demon plus DMT equals demon T. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Let's do the DMT one. And then we'll do the glitch one. I think that'll give me a good little variety for when I post. Because, I don't like to post the same type of story over and over again. And I think my last post, or the post that's coming out next week, is sort of, well, it's kind of more of a demon story. But it's fine, whatever. I'll do what I want. All right, remember, every super chat adds you to the list of sponsors to have your name read out at the end of the episode. So whoever wants to, whatever amount, there's no threshold. Any super chat gets you on the list, and it's a fun way to become a permanent, acknowledged part of the video at the end. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, UK lady, haven't seen a live video of mine. Very soothing voice. Love it. Thank you. I love that you love it. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay, so we're going to get into this crazy DMT story. And oh yeah, someone said debauchery. There was a little bit of debauchery in this story at some point. Obviously it's DMT. It's going to be something crazy happening. But I toned it down quite a bit. I'll leave some of it to your imagination, which I'm sure you all would have no trouble doing. Just refill my mug. And I really need to start selling these mugs again. I still use it. I was really into pushing the merch stuff for a while, but I don't know. I just never do it anymore for some reason. All right. I'm hydrated, ready to go. By the way, I noticed that in that the first story that I did, it's like hardly any mistakes. I was very proud of myself. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave the replay up. Oh no, Cindy, your grandson broke your mug? I wish I could just send you one. Bigfoot Dogman and Goatman to get into a fist fight with each other. That'd be pretty... Man, how would you even keep track of that? Hey, Arrow Beezy, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Oh, Lila Catherine, thank you very much. Oh, whoa. Got 2. Happy birthday. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the birthday wishes, my friends. Reed, thank you very much for your super chat as well. You're both going on to the sponsor list. Your names will be read at the end of the episodes for these, when I actually make the videos for these stories, which will be very nice. Arrow Beezy, I know you rock the mug still. Old school stuff right there. All right. Thanks, folks. All right, let's get into this story without further ado. All right, I'm going to put a little, some ambient sounds on while I do this. All right. All right, here we go. Hey there, friends. MrXDreams here. Before I begin today's story, I have to warn you. This one is definitely one of the trippiest accounts I've ever received. I will start off by letting you know that I do not advocate for the use of drugs or mind-altering substances for any reason. This story talks about a particular dreamer's experience with such things. It will seem to make very little sense for a while, but we will break it down a bit later. I wouldn't be sharing it with you if I didn't find it very interesting, as you know. All I can say is, I hope you trust me. Here we go. Hello, Mr. X. My name is Arnez. I want to tell you a personal story I had while partaking in DMT, aka the holy mother of hallucinogens. The substance causes such intense and euphoric sensations and visuals that, after the trip, one is left with... Hold on, I gotta restart that sentence. The substance causes such intense and euphoric sensations and visuals that, after the trip, one is left wondering about the nature of reality itself. We are confronted with the possibility of other, more vibrant worlds far beyond our own, and we have no choice but to question which realm is more true, more real. In my case, over the course of a few weeks after my first trip, I saw strange entities everywhere I went. They would appear often in the corner of my eye. Whenever I caught one in my sights, it was always staring right at me. No malicious intent or negative energy about it, just curiously staring, watching, maybe. I saw the same beings in my dreams. When I asked around about these weird creatures, I saw that many believe the entities are trying to send some sort of message to those who have visited their realm. One thing everyone I know has said is that they always feel safe in the presence of these beings. It might sound strange, but I feel like they are waiting patiently for me to die. Like they would never try to hurt me or wish death upon me, but whenever it's my time to go, they will be there to welcome me. I'm actually getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let me take you back to the first time I ever took the substance. So, I was thinking about it for quite a long time. I was able to get some from a reliable source, but I held on to it for quite a while. When I had finally worked up the courage to give it a try, this is what I went through. 10 seconds in, I began to feel much lighter. 30 seconds in, I was wondering where my feet had disappeared to, because I couldn't feel anything below me. After a minute, I was flying at extremely high speeds, watching the world around me melt away. Time became meaningless. Unconditional love radiated through me from an unseen source. I felt like I alone comprehended what true happiness was. I made contact with someone so tall that their height could never be measured. Upon closer inspection, it was a larger version of myself. I smiled at myself, and we both opened our mouths wider than any human should be able to. I flew into the larger me's mouth, and a sound began to radiate from the back of my head. Soon, I was overtaken by it. The sound filled my entire existence with pure sadness. Suddenly, the love I felt was gone. I was alone. No more euphoria, no more light. I found myself transported to a new realm. One full of darkness. In the darkness, I began to see what I could only describe as elves. Humanoid creatures with pointed ears and large eyes. Something about their appearance made me feel frightened. I think it was their expressions, which were twisted into an unrecognizable combination of negative emotions. They greeted me in a language I was not supposed to be able to understand, but somehow I did. They told me that they served a being called, as I would translate it into English, the Stolen One. They welcomed me into their midst, showing me a structure that would be my home if I chose to stay with them. They said that if I wanted to stay there forever, I would either have to die or take a lot more DMT. I told them I was not sure I wanted to do either at the moment. From my perspective, I felt like I was there for days. The longer I stayed, the more I felt that loving energy returning to me. I began to realize I did want to stay with the strange beings. In the beautiful landscape of their home, love seemed to beam down from the sky like rays of pure sunlight. I was told it was the love of the Stolen One himself. One day, as I basked in the love of the Stolen One, the thought of death crossed my mind for a fleeting moment. At the same time, in a flash of light, I received a vision of my earthly family, but they were all dead. Naturally, I began to cry. Suddenly, I realized I was lying in the palm of a massive hand. The hand began to close over me, the fingers the size of skyscrapers. Rising up all around. The Stolen One's hand threw me into the clouds, sending me into yet another strange realm. The elf-like creatures trailed along behind me as I tumbled through the air, from one reality and into the next. I eventually blacked out. When I awoke, I found myself in a white void. Standing in front of me was a teacher I used to have a huge crush on during high school. She looked exactly like she did back then. Gorgeous. She undressed and told me she was mine to do with as I pleased. As she spoke those words, other women appeared. Every one I had ever thought about with lust in my heart. I am sure you could imagine what happened next. It was a scene of pure debauchery. I can't deny the fact that I never, ever wanted to leave that place. That is, until one point when I was making out with someone, and I felt an odd sensation. As her tongue swirled around in my mouth, I felt a second tongue appear, vying for attention. I opened my eyes and realized that her eyes were missing. Where they should have been, it was just flat skin, stretched over empty eye holes. She immediately began screaming in my face, her multiple tongues whipping against my lips. Another flash of light, and the sea of bodies disappeared. After that, I fell. It seemed like I was falling for a lifetime. As I fell, I saw vivid images from the events with all the women, playing them over and over and over again in my head, all around me. Playing over and over again in the sky around me. I was a slave to the hypnotic ecstasy of it all. Goodness gracious, I need a sip of water. I was a slave to the hypnotic ecstasy of it all, and I could barely contain myself. When everything came to a head, if you know what I mean, I finally landed back in my room, lying in my bed. The entities that had been following me, the elves, were standing all around my room, staring at me. Some of them shook their heads, seeming to be in disappointment. Seemingly in disappointment. I felt like I had somehow failed a test of some sort. It was then that I realized I should probably never do DMT again. I knew there was a chance that I would become utterly dependent on it. The elves faded away after a few weeks. They stopped following me. Maybe they did want me to come back and become a member of their strange world permanently. Maybe they did want me to come back and become a member of their strange world permanently. I often wonder what it all meant. What should I have done to pass the bizarre test I was given? Please let me know what you think, Mr. X. Sincerely, Arnez. All right, folks, let's see what we got here. Ambar Chavez, greetings, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Nino Brown, thank you as well. Good to see you guys. All right, let's see. Yes, Acolyte. I do hate mouth pops, and I hope I didn't have too many there. I will do a retake of an entire line, or sometimes an entire story recording, in order to avoid having to deal with laptops being in my, mouth pops, laptops, mouth pops being in my final product. Do not like those at all. All right, if you all have anything to add or any comments or questions about this story, go ahead and type them into the chat now, as I'm going to read my comments that I have. Some pretty interesting things to bring up here, and you might come up with some more cool stuff that pops into your mind after you hear my thoughts on it. So we'll see what we get from that. Again, thank you all for the birthday wishes. I see a couple of new people. Daddy Girl Chanel, hello there, my friend. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Tree Fitty for all, hello there. Green Octandum, hello. Is it not octandum? I figured that it's pretty straightforward there. I forgot Reed. I didn't read out Reed's super chat message. Heck yeah, with 2 C's, as in thick. Nice. DMT is it's a hallucinogenic substance, a mind-altering drug. As far as that's all I know about it. Ambar was asking that. Yeah. So, if you all have any questions or comments about this story, go ahead and type them in, and let's start getting a code word brewing as well. I'm the first person to get Green Octandum's name properly. That's funny. Yeah, it seems like pretty straightforward spelling to me. I don't know, maybe it's the linguist in me. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my commentary, and then you all add your commentary that you want me to talk about, or anything you want to bring to my attention, and then we'll go from there. All right, my friends, Mr. X here. What a trippy story that was. First, I have to say again, I do not advocate for the taking of drugs at all. But if I'm honest, I always have been fascinated by the idea that we might be able to access other planes of perception by using mind-altering substances like that. The fact that many people say that when on DMT in particular, there are some common themes and common images or even characters that people tend to see independently of one another. It makes me wonder if there's truly a real alternate plane of existence that we simply need that altered state in order to access. When I was writing this, and I thought of a sort of an analogy. Imagine it's like Disney World, for example. Say there was a Disney World on every continent, right? And there might be, actually, I don't know. So if you buy a ticket, you can go to Disney World and see all the wonderful sights, the characters, the same characters wherever you go. You hear the music of your childhood, all that great stuff. Now, imagine that when you buy a ticket to Disney World, that ticket magically transports its holder to a single location, somewhere in a hidden dimension. A location that anyone from anywhere in the world can visit from the comfort of their own home, wherever that may be, so long as they have that ticket. When they go there, they see the same characters, they hear the same sounds, they walk the same streets. I hope that makes sense. This is one of life's great mysteries to me, and who knows if we'll ever understand it well enough to really solve that mystery. So thinking back on this story in particular, I wonder where exactly Arnez's point of failure was. He said he felt like he passed a test, or failed a test. And I wonder, did he summon the teacher and the other women that he had lusted after in his youth? Should he have summoned someone else into the void with him rather than succumb to those baser instincts of his heart? I wonder if he made an error by being swept away at the thought of his family's mortality, thinking about death in the base level vibrational existence or what have you. Was that what made him fail the test in the eyes of this mysterious entity known as the Stolen One? I also wondered if the elves he saw were perhaps the essences or consciousnesses of previous DMT users throughout human history that perhaps managed to pass this enigmatic test administered by the Stolen One. Now that's really far out there, and it's really a kind of a, I'm kind of going out on a limb with that one, but the idea, imagine that when people take this substance, it's possible to encounter an entity that can literally cause your essence, your spirit, soul, mind, whatever you call it, your astral self, to transcend this reality. That's the kind of stuff that people build cults on. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, now that I think about it. But actually I am for a second. Just bear with me. Imagine those people pass the test. They show themselves to be virtuous or to be truly disconnected from their previous earthly existence. And therefore, the stolen one is able to sever the tie between their consciousness and their body and just keep them there. And eventually they transform into these elf-like beings. And maybe they're lonely. Maybe they want more people to come to them. This sounds like a good premise for a book or something. Yeah. So now I have a few questions for you to start off the conversation. What do you think the elf-like entities actually wanted from Arnez? What do you think they were? Who, in your opinion, was the stolen one that the elves seemed to serve? Also, do you think these substances have the ability to truly transport the human consciousness? Or was our friend here literally just tripping? So much to think about on this topic. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So now, I'm going to open up the floor for the dreamers to weigh in. Remember, if you want a chance at your question or comment showing up in a future video, or to sponsor a future video with a super chat donation, turn on notifications so you catch the live reading and discussion. Always a great time on those. All right, let's see. I think I saw a few. Samantha, you're talking about a cat disappearing or something like that? I don't see where that started there. All right, I'm looking through the comments right now. See if you guys have anything to add to these. All right, Cindy, you've got one. That's good. Whoa, why is this read only? That's weird. Stand by 1 second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, when I do the thumbnail for this video, it's going to be a woman with no eyes, and maybe I'll do the 2 tongues sticking out of her mouth, because that was the most disturbing image for me. Man, for some reason this chat is kind of hard for me to follow right now. Man, thanks for liking the video, folks. I see a lot of likes here. And I also see a lot of birthday wishes, so thank you all very much for that. Lori Long, thank you and welcome to the stream. Platano Wi-Fi, thank you for the birthday wishes. Awesome. Okay. Casey, good question. Good comment there. I'm going to add that into the video. Let's see here. Tarico, very good, very interesting comment. I've heard something like that. Man, y'all are giving me some really good comments right now. I knew this one would inspire you a little bit because I find this to be a fascinating topic. All right, let's see. Arlene, hello there, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Coscamo Gaming, same to you, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm having a fantastic day, and you all are helping me out and helping me make my videos. That's always appreciated. Let's see. Lori Long had a good comment. All right. Yeah, this is good. All right. So now I'm going to read these comments and I'll talk about them a little bit. And let's get cooking on a what do you call it? On a code word. Yeah. Wow. Great point, Cindy. Great point. We are going to talk about that. I think that's what I'm going to talk about last. Freaking awesome. You guys really do kill it on these things. So now I need you to kill this code word. That's a good one. I need to start giving credit to the people who come up with the with code words in the video. I think I'm going to try to do that from now on. All right. Okay. All right, so Gabe Mesa says, it's all fun and games to go to other realms and dimensions until you can't come back. That is true, I'm sure. It's all mind-blowing and it's beautiful and fun, but you never know. It's kind of like that situation where the saying where they say that better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Everybody's got these troubles and harsh realities that you have to face in the real world, the world that we know, that we're born into. But imagine just jumping off the deep end and entering a completely different and alien realm. It's got to be pretty scary. Casey Christian says, I wonder if the origins of the elves in fairy tales and folklore came from a DMT trip, whether intentional or accidental. Excellent question. That's really, really interesting, because I know these mind-altering substances, maybe not DMT per se, but they've been used for thousands and thousands of years in human society, maybe more. So perhaps a lot of our modern folklore, or folklore that we have now, and even the notions of superheroes and mutants and monsters and things like that, there could be the case that someone a long time ago saw certain things, kaiju, Godzilla, crazy things like that. We never know. We probably never will know, actually, but it's fascinating to think about. Tarico Tomoso says, me personally, I'm perfectly happy with the amount of DMT my body already produces. Not interested in adding more. That is interesting. I didn't know that the chemical DMT in particular is produced in the human brain. I mean, I'll take your word for it on that, because I'm sure that I feel like I have heard that before. But imagine someone whose glands in their brain just became overactive and created more of that than is normally needed, or normally whatever is useful to the body. It kind of seems like we have the ability innate within ourselves to access these things naturally if only we could find that switch in our brain to do it. Very interesting question. Reed says, seems like the stolen one wanted to steal the story writer away from this reality. Yeah, it's that could be it, but Cindy had something to say that's also along those lines. We'll get to that in a second. Lori Long says, fairy folklore contains many, many stories about them luring people and children away. The ones about children often tell of changelings being left in place of humans that are stolen. That is a good point. That is a good point. I wonder if the fairy lore might have influenced Arnez's visions here. That's an interesting point. There are a lot of parallels there. Someone being taken from one reality, and who knows if they would have replaced them. So, last but not least, Cindy S. says, elves are tricksters. The demon women could have just been them tricking him into staying. And the stolen one could have been someone else that the elves had tricked into staying. So, who knows who the stolen one is, but I would definitely say, well, you know what, let's break it down for a second. When Arnez initially thought about his family dying, that was the first time he seemed to be cast out of the paradise level that he was on, where he was really thinking, you know what, I would like to stay here. So there's two ways, there's more than one way of thinking about this. If the giant hand threw him into another level where his crushes and all the people, all the women that he was ever attracted to were there and willing to obey his every command, that could have been a distraction technique to say, hey, don't worry about death. Don't worry about what your family's doing back in the real world. Here, have all this debauchery that to your heart's content. Or it could have said, you know what? He's too connected. He might be too connected to the world for our purposes. So let's give him a test. And the reason why I feel like it was a test and he might have failed was because of the disappointment that he perceived from the elf-like entities when he ended up back in his home. Because when he did what he did with all the women, and he was kind of booted out of the experience after that. And imagine going through all that, landing in your bed, and the creatures that were trying to get you to stay are now just shaking their heads like, man, you messed up. Very fascinating, very interesting concepts in this story. This is one of the most unique stories that I've done on the channel, as far as I know. I don't remember where I got or when I got this email, but once in a while I go back and look at old emails that I've not opened, and I believe this was one of them, because I've never spoken about this before. So thank you to Arnez, and thank you to all those who super chat donations, sponsors for the video during the live chat. And thank you very much for you all's participation with these amazing questions and observations for this story. It adds a lot of value to when I do these. So, the first person who was able to come up with a good code word for this story was Gabe Mesa, who simply said, elves. If you're listening to this part of the video, type the word elves in your comment down below so I can see who the real dreamers are. Until next time, my friends, take care. All right, so let's see, who do we got here? got a couple of oh my gosh, I think we have Neo in here. Thomas Anderson. I'm sure that's a reference. It's got to be a reference. If you're on this channel, you probably know who Neo is, and you're referencing Neo by having your name be Thomas Anderson. So good on you. Hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, we'll do elves as the code word. I'm gonna export this and try to do one more. All right, very good one. Get that out of there. All right, so which one I know I said that I was going to do another one. Well, I said which one I was going to do, but now I don't remember. I think it was, I'm probably due for a glitch story, so I probably will do that one. Okay, let's see. We got some new people in here. Mr. Dan and Horror. Hello there. J-Lo. Yeah, Thomas Anderson said hi to you. All right. Sans Serif, I think I said hello to you, but hello anyway. Tariko, thank you very much for once again sponsoring a video on the Mr. X Dreams channel. I appreciate you, my friend. Thanks very much. Cancionero, no problem. I've been a victim of what do you call it? Autocorrect countless times. So, yeah, I'm gonna start. You all gotta remind me if I don't do it. Whoever does create a code word, or is if the main person suggesting a code word, I gotta make sure that I actually say their name. Like, hey, this person came up with the code word. Unless I do it myself, so that you get your recognition in the video when it comes out. Thanks for the birthday wishes, Arlene. I appreciate it. Somebody said something really interesting too. Thomas Anderson fittingly said, what if the reason that hallucinations are so illegal is because it's actually enabling reality-bending capabilities that, if left unchecked, would affect the reality for everyone? I kind of wish I put that in the video, because that's a really good one. Yeah, there were a lot of cryptid. All right, let's do this. Let's do a vote right now, since there's probably a whole different group of people in the chat. So we have cryptid stories, and we have one glitch story. Type cryptid or glitch for and you tell me which one do you want. Probably going to do one more story tonight. Hello, Brenda. Good to see you, my friend. Cryptid or glitch, and then I'm going to count them up. I know glitch, like the people who like glitch, they're all in with glitches pretty much all the time. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of glitches. I guess the cryptid people are, they probably went to sleep, or maybe they fell asleep already listening to my tired voice. Hope I'm not sounding too tired today. Let's see. Ash Thulu. Hello there, my friend. I didn't greet you there, I don't think. Steve Simmons, hello. Oh, lots of... Okay, now we're getting some votes in. Let's see. For glitch, we got... One. Okay. I got 11 glitch, and then 1, 2, 3. I actually got more glitch votes than cryptid. And I got a confusingly high number of combinations of the two words. Very strange. Steve Simmons, I'm good, my friend. I hope all is well with you as well. We're all good here. All right. Crypto glitch. All right. Yeah, it could very well be such a thing that cryptids are the cause of glitches, because I mean, if you're a fan of the Matrix lore, they are just programs that are not behaving themselves, according to the Matrix. Cloud Girl Natty, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. All right. So hey, quick reminder. One more before I get into the story. If you want to become a sponsor of the video, the series of videos that come from these recordings, then send any super chat, and you will then be automatically added to the list of sponsors at the end of this series of videos. I don't know if anybody even sees these, but at the end of every video now, I actually read out the names and I show it scrolling like movie credits of the people who super chatted during my live streams. So I try not to push it too much, but at the same time, I do need money as well. So I appreciate you all. I got several sponsors for tonight and for this, they're going to be the sponsors for the next few weeks of videos. So yeah. Whatever you want to do, it's not compulsory, not compulsory. This content is free, but it is supported by the beautiful, wonderful dreamers that do give their generous donations. And I appreciate every one of y'all. And if you don't want to do that, if you can't do it, just hit the like button. That's good enough for me. That's good. And I'm definitely appreciative of that as well. All right. And thanks for the birthday wishes again to all those. I can't thank you all individually anymore because everybody's popping off in here. Thank you, returning sponsor Lori Long. Thank you so much for your super chat. Let me add you to the list once again. You're a longtime favorite for the list. Brenda, once again as well. Thank you so much, Brenda, for the birthday wishes. Happy birthday, Mr. X. Appreciate y'all so much, very much. Saving up for a new computer so I can... All right, don't tell anybody, but I'm kind of trying to do these, to start learning 3D animation and be able to do more visual stuff. So see, when I do this thing, this was done with my iPad, but my dream is to have a more kinetic, more interesting visual 3D landscape for this type of thing. Cryptids and cool stuff like that, so I could do modeling and things like that. That's my goal, and that's why I'm always, asking for sponsors. Oh, if anybody wants to donate to my PayPal, it's mr.xdreams54@gmail.com. If you send to that, that's what that is. And yeah, that's actually even better than super chats, but I know it's a pain in the butt to do something like that. Super chat is so much easier for people. But all right, so oh man, you got sunburn. That is yeah, that's no good. Sunburn is not good. I don't like it myself either. I hope you feel better soon with that. That sucks. All right, so yeah. Hey, let me know if you guys have any cool ideas or anything like that of stuff that I could do when I actually do get a better computer and learn how to do all this cool 3D stuff. I'm definitely down for some ideas. Might start studying Blender as well, for those who are in the know. The Zombified, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Lightwave 3D. Yeah, I'm probably go with Blender because Blender is free and it's pretty popular, well supported and everything. All right. Okay. I got to stop rambling. All right. So it was decided that we were going to do a glitch story for this. Oh, thank you so much, Arlene. I appreciate the super chat. You're now added to the sponsor list, as always, for this video series. It's not just one video series either. Nightmare Files, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you over here. Man, I'm sure you're a busy guy these days, so I appreciate you taking the time. Hang out for a second. I'm about to do a, Arrowbeezy, I love you too, my friend. Good to see you still here. Alright, so, it was voted that we would do a glitch story. Yeah, if y'all don't know Nightmare Files, dude's a beast. Go check him out, for sure. Yeah, I don't see a lot of channels out there like his. We actually did a collab recently too, me, him, and old school homeboy Mad Mike, now known as the Scarecast. Y'all definitely go check out Nightmare Files. Solid dude. Alright, so glitch story. Let me get some water real quick, top up my cup, and then we will get into this thing. All right. Oh my goodness, Samantha. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. You're part of the illustrious group of sponsors for the channel today. And for, well, the next at least 3 weeks, depending on how many stories I do. I'll probably carry you all over to the next one too when I do another stream in a couple weeks. You all are awesome though, seriously. I am feeling the love on my birthday today, my friends, and I gotta thank you. Okay, here we go. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's so odd about someone having 2 moms, right? Well, in this case, one of those moms happens to, allegedly, be living in a parallel dimension. That, my friends, is not normal. This first story is based on a Reddit post from the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit, entitled 2 Moms, by user Prospect Daydreamer. Not sure if I'm saying that properly, but I did my best. Here's the story. No matter how you look at it, the story I'm about to share is 100% going to sound crazy. The story I'm about to share is 100% going to sound crazy. That said, before I begin, I want to make sure everyone understands that I was completely sober when this all happened. A couple of years ago, I went to pick up a friend of mine at her house. We had plans to hang out. Now, the way my friend's house is set up, you have to walk past her kitchen window to reach the front door. As I was walking past the window, I looked inside, just out of normal, mild curiosity to see what was going on. I saw my friend's mom was in the window. Her hair was wet and she was wearing a green sweater. This is important for later. We actually locked eyes. She nodded her head as if to say, "What's up?" I nodded back, of course. I saw her begin to walk away from the window toward the front door, and I figured she was going to open it and let me in. On the side of the front door, there are these little windows. After several seconds went by and her mom never showed up to let me in, I tried peeking through those little windows. Oddly, I saw her just walk right by without stopping. I definitely thought that was weird, so I walked back over to the kitchen window. I thought maybe she spaced out or something and forgot I was there. When I got back to the window, I saw my friend instead, who was not previously there when I had just walked by before. I didn't think much of it, assuming that she had just entered the room. I waved at her and got her attention. She came to open the door for me. We chatted for a bit before her mom came over to say hi. Her hair was still wet, and she was still wearing that sweater. I said, "Hey, I saw you walk by the door. I thought you were going to open it, but you just walked right by." She looked at me with confusion and said, "What are you talking about? I just got out of the shower. I've been in the bathroom for the past 15 minutes. I should note that where we were sitting, in the kitchen, during this conversation. Because of where the bathroom is located, it would have been impossible for her to get there without me having seen her between the time I saw her walk by the windows and the time I came inside. I was just as confused as she was and replied, "What are you talking about? We just saw each other through the kitchen window. We locked eyes and even nodded at each other. You saw me." My friend jumped in, saying she was the only one in the kitchen the whole time. No one had come in or out for a while. For a second, I thought they were messing with me, but they were both dead serious, and they're not the kind of people to take a joke that far. I have honestly never been so confused in my entire life. And I know that I didn't just imagine it, because how on earth would I have just dreamt up exactly how her mom was looking at the time, with the wet hair and the same green sweater? They still think my brain was playing tricks on me, but I know what I saw. It was way too long and way too clear of an interaction. Now that was an interesting story, my friends, a bit of a short one, so I actually added another one into this for you. But first, I wanted to highlight a very interesting comment that someone made on the original Reddit post. Someone said the following about this story. "In some other dimension, the mom told your friend you were outside. When she opened the door, nobody was there. And when she opened the door, nobody was there. She's likely also tripping about it." So imagine that, my friends. I had to share a bit of the mind screw there with you before we moved on, because to me, it's an insane concept. Take a moment to let that sink in. Two versions of the same conversation with just a couple of wires crossed somehow, taking place in two separate dimensions, each precisely tuned to make exactly one person seem like a total lunatic. Pretty trippy stuff. Like I said, since that glitch story was so short, I'll share one more. This one is somewhat similar to the Reddit post in terms of the theme. Old school dreamers may have heard a version of it before on my channel, but either way, let me know what you think. Dear Mr. X, you can call me Cole. I was watching one of your Glitch in the Matrix videos, and it started me thinking about something I experienced a few years back. Late one evening, I was in my living room, quietly relaxing on the couch. Out of nowhere, an idea popped into my head. Exactly what it was isn't really important. I don't quite remember anyway, to be honest, but it was something I really needed to tell my sister. I knew she was home, but I was just too comfortable on the couch to get up and try and track her down. Moments later, I conveniently heard footsteps coming down the stairs. I looked up and there she was, my sister. I was happy to see that I wouldn't have to give up my spot on the couch, so I sat up and tried getting her attention as she walked by me. "Hey, sis. Hey." Oddly, she just kept walking, completely ignoring me and marching straight into the kitchen. What made it especially bizarre was the fact that to get to the kitchen, one has to pass through a narrow corridor between the staircase and the back of the couch I was laying on. She basically passed within arm's reach of me as I was loudly calling out to her. But she seemed completely oblivious to me, like I wasn't even there. I was mildly offended by her just brushing me off like that, but I decided it wasn't worth the trouble of getting up to defend my little sense of indignation. I was simply too comfortable. Instead, I decided to turn on the TV. After finding nothing to watch, I decided I was ready to get up off the couch and look for my sister. I went over to the kitchen expecting to find her rummaging through the fridge or something like that, but there was nothing there. No one. I looked in the nearby bathroom. Still no sign of her. I looked out the window into the backyard and then checked the kitchen again. Nothing. I was definitely starting to get a little weirded out, but I decided it wasn't that important anyway and returned to the couch. I laid there for a few minutes, channel surfing with the sound of the... Sorry, guys. I laid there for a few minutes, channel surfing, when the sound of the TV was interrupted by footsteps coming down the stairs again. I looked up and saw my sister, for the second time, minding her own business. I was visibly confused at the sight of her. All I could think about was the question of how she could have possibly teleported through space to get back up the stairs. There's only one way up or down. I knew she didn't go outside and climb up the wall to get back into her room. She's also not the most athletic or even energetic person. I asked her what she'd been up to, and she mentioned that she hadn't been downstairs for at least a couple hours. The worst part was, after all that, I couldn't even remember what I wanted to tell her. Sincerely, Cole. All right, my friends, I love those two stories. They kind of match up really well together. So if you all have any... Man, was I doing some mouth pops there? If I was, then I apologize. I'm slowly realizing that I probably need to just get over my insane hatred of them. But I'm sure it was okay. If you all had any interesting comments or questions or anything about, or observations about this particular story, let me know what you thought, and I'll, as always, add them into the video when it's actually out. Yeah, the first one was a brand new one from Reddit, and the second one, I do believe I spoke about that a long time ago in another one. It might have actually been a part of a collab originally when I first talked about it, because that was an email that came directly to me. Cindy, you've got a very strong knack for making really good observations and comments with these. I might have to come up with some type of title for your wisdom in this area. Always very good observations there, Cindy. Impressive, most impressive. S. Smith, howdy is the word that you use, so I shall use that to you. Howdy, my friend. All right. So if anybody else has any other comments or anything to add to this discussion. Oh yeah, I didn't even read Samantha's comment. Can't wait to see the fantabulous graphics to come. I can't wait either. I really need to buckle down and start learning it ahead of time now with the setup that I have, and later on it'll just get even better by then. Araceli Rosillo, hello there, my friend. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. I think I could pull one more story out. Let's as long as I can get one. Yeah, this one came out pretty short, so I'm going to need a few more comments to extend it a little bit. Can't be putting out a 12-minute long video or anything like that these days. People will get mad at me. All right, let's go. I'll do my comments, and then whatever you guys have to say, you can say it, then I'll come back and look at it. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys have been showing a lot of love tonight for my birthday, so I think I owe you at least one more story after this one. All right. Greetings, friends. MrXDreams here. I hope you found these 2 short stories as interesting as I did. So, first, let's talk about the story of Cole. As you can see, there are similarities between the 2 stories. People seeing doubles or maybe echoes of other people seems to be a very common thing, a lot more so than one might imagine. I've received several stories of a person seeing an after image or an early, perhaps precognitive image of someone else's actions, only to be dumbfounded when it happens again. Sort of like a deja vu type situation. That's probably among the more standard types of glitches as far as my experience goes. I often wonder what the cause for these events could be. So, I ask you, what do you suppose happened to make the Reddit poster see 2 versions of her friend's mom? Could it have been a premonition, or a time slip perhaps, a glimpse into a neighboring dimension? Let me know what your theory is in the comments down below. Now, I'm going to open up the floor for the dreamers to weigh in on the situation. Remember, if you want a chance at your question or comment showing up in a future video, or being able to sponsor a future video, make sure you turn on notifications so you catch the live reading and discussion. Hold on, I definitely heard a mouth click there. Remember, if you want a chance at your question or comment showing up in a future video, make sure you turn on notifications to catch the live stream, where I read this and discuss it live with the dreamers. You could also become a sponsor that way as well, by sending a super chat during the stream. So let's see what they had to say today. All right, I got one good question so far, or one good comment so far. Well, 2 really from Cindy. I don't see any more today. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have to thank the Night Companion for pointing out my pet peeve about which I am self-conscious often. I haven't seen you around in quite a while, Night Companion. Where you been at? I hope you're well. I know you said it seems like you said you were activated into active duty. I hope you're staying safe out there and doing your thing wherever you're at. Samantha, you're on a road trip right now, I wonder? Long road trips. Hey, I'm happy to oblige. I will definitely hook up one more story after this. I just need a couple of anyone who's got a particular thought about glitches where more than one person is a person's double or something like that is seen. Definitely speak up. I'd love to have maybe one or two more of those. Okay, Steve Simmons. I don't even know what you said, but it's going in there because I don't have a lot to choose from with this one. Let's see here. Ambar, thank you very much for adding that. Okay, maybe one more, we should be good. Yeah. Hey, we're all here for you, my friend, Night Companion. I remember you from like old days. Old days. All right. Casey, all right. Thank you very much. You all are lifesavers because I didn't realize how short those stories were going to be. All right, so let's go and talk about these things real quick. So, Steve Simmons says, I've been wondering about alternate universes lately. That could be the odd answer to the doppelgangers or even other things. Very interesting point. Although, makes me wonder, when it comes to doppelgangers, it's often associated with two people being in the same space at the same time. Now, in my story that I'm writing a kind of a urban, modern, contemporary fiction, contemporary urban fantasy or something like that. I don't even know what the genres are, but it discusses the ideas of doppelgangers being taken from one dimension and then inserted into the next one, to where there are two of the same person there, and that actually is an existential crisis when that happens in my story. So, yeah, definitely an interesting point there. Casey Christian says, I always like the idea of different dimensions when a person sees what life could be like with a few decisions having been made differently. That actually is a terrifying concept to me, to think about what different things could have played out if I had, even if it's a mistake that I regret or something that I did wrong in the past. I feel like a sense of dread at the idea of undoing even my worst mistakes in life, because there's so many things that could change as a ripple effect, especially the further back you go in time. It is not something I'm willing to mess with. Very interesting idea, though. Ambar says, I wonder if one's mind just becomes relaxed so much to a point where we can access some of those other worldly dimensions and see what's always around us, even before or after. Now that is a mind-bending idea. And to some extent, I feel like that is plausible, like that if there are other vibrations and frequencies of existence, other dimensions that are just, say, for lack of a better term, above or below or to the left or to the right of us, frequency-wise, maybe, if that's the right language to be using. It's hard for me to encapsulate it, but you know what? I see that Lori has a comment that might help me out a little bit here. I believe it was Lori. Yes. Lori Long says, maybe it's a thinning of the veil, and Cole slipped through and saw a second image or a doppelganger moment. See, that's the key thing. The concept, I always use this language to describe it. A veil that is thin in some areas and thicker in other areas. And perhaps that even certain people are able to see through that veil or pass through it at certain times. Yeah, my brain is starting to break down just thinking about this stuff. All right, so Cindy says, that might be why people remember the same event differently. That's one thing. And Cindy also said, Cole might have had a premonition of the future as well. That's a lot more cut and dry. Let's focus on the first part of that statement though, Cindy. People remembering the same event differently. That happens every day, all the time. It could very well be that happens. People have these dimensional slips, even if it's just their perception visually, or, they see something different or they hear something from somewhere else, and it's just slightly different than another person, and it's just passed off as a simple disagreement or a simple agree to disagree, like, hey, I remember seeing this person there, you remember not seeing them there, or you remember them standing over there, I remember them standing over here, or I heard this, you heard that. Imagine one day knowing that some of those times, not every time, but sometimes, you actually did see what you thought you saw, but it was another dimension. And remember, we're all suspending disbelief right now and just having some fun and entertaining ourselves and each other. So, super fun conversation and discussion with this. All right, so now we need to find a code word. So, I should have told you guys this earlier, but let's try to find one now. Through the magic of editing, we will have it in an instant. All right, so what do we got for a code word, folks? Yeah, wow. Okay, Sans Serif, you said you had a doppelganger recently, or not recently, but several years ago, and you were 11 at the time, and your doppelganger was running around getting you into trouble. Imagine that. That is exactly what they're supposed to do, though, so it was just doing its job. All right, so let's see. Code. Well, okay. The Lionheart 021. Thank you very much for your super chat, my friend. You are being added to the list of sponsors. The Lionheart 021. What currency is that? I'm not sure. Looks cool. Yeah, that's a good code word right there. Crypto glitch. I dig it. All right. Only thing is, I'm not sure if people are going to be able to spell it, but actually that might even make it more fun. All right, so let's see here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do, I think crypto glitch is good. All right, so the code word has been chosen. Ambar Chavez came up with this brilliant word, crypto glitch, because of something that happened during our discussions earlier on during the live stream. So, if you're still listening to this video, type the word crypto glitch in your comment down below so I can see who the real dreamers are. Take care, my friends. All right, gonna render that bad boy out. We're on a roll today. We're doing pretty good. I'm gonna do one more story. Yeah, this is gonna be a doppelganger story. Right there. Save that. Okay. Yeah, crypto glitch is a good word right there. KC says, I think if there was a double of me, I would have been the troublemaking one. That's funny. So your doppelganger, Casey, would be running around trying to clean up your messes and stuff. That's a funny idea. All right, so we kind of only have one option with this. Cryptid, right? Because we did almost every other type of story there is. And after all, the code word is crypto glitch, so it only makes sense that we would do cryptid story. So I believe all the cryptid stories that I have are remasters. There might be one that is not a remaster. I have a Shadow People. I have a Black Eyed Kids. I have a it's a shorter one. It's kind of a Hellhound. I've got the Human-Faced Centipede. I might do that one. That one's that one's really short. I probably need to add something to that one. That's a little too short. I've got the Laughing Monster. You all remember that one? Let's see, what do we got here? Anybody? The Black Eyed Kids one? Let me see. This is the Black Eyed Kids invasion story. This is an old one. Yeah, I would classify those two stories that we just heard, I would classify those as glitches just because it didn't seem to be a material interaction with a physical entity. Yeah, doppelgangers, I guess, are sort of cryptids. Alright, so I got 3 votes for Black Eyed Kids at this point. Crypto glitch servers run by Bigfoot. Yeah. Alright. Okay, well, yeah, I think we'll do the Laughing Monster. That's the one I kind of felt like doing. And Samantha, I believe, is on a road trip right now, and she could probably use a little Laughing Monster action in her life. Ron McCreeps. That's a good name. Okay, let's see here. All right, we'll go back to Rain for this last one. Man, we're getting a lot of BEK votes. Honestly, I don't know, Samantha. I'm gonna give you the final say on it, because you were so generous with your one of the latest sponsorship deals, and you are a recurring sponsor. Let's see. I'm gonna test your conviction as a dreamer, Samantha. This is your test, just like our friend Arnez had a test and he failed. I'm gonna give you a chance, Samantha. I hope you're not driving and texting, by the way. If you are, but Samantha, make the call. Black Eyed Kids or the Laughing Monster. Black Eyed Kids, which has about 10 votes, or the one that only you want, the Laughing Monster. Samantha, you're on the clock. Test your might, Samantha. The time is now. Yes, that is true, Knight Companion. I do always uphold the law. It is what the American taxpayer pays me to do. All right, always want to see a graphic for that one. So, you wanted to see a graphic for the BEK or for the Laughing Monster? Because they're both, I mean, next week or next time I do a stream, which will be a couple weeks from now probably, I will do the Laughing Monster one. But, so Samantha has humbled herself before the crowd and chose the Black Eyed Kids BEK invasion story. Very noble of you, my friend. And I will... Whoa. I got all these like red text in here. Okay. I will oblige. Well done. You have passed the test, my dear friend, Samantha. You've proven yourself to be an honorable and worthy dreamer. Worthy of the highest honor. The highest honor I can bestow of moderator. That was your test. I'm going to do I will do a Laughing Monster graphic. Don't worry about that. That's going to come. And it's going to be a brand new hand drawing, and I'll probably do the speed draw in it. Just like, oh yeah, by the way, not tomorrow, Monday, a really big video is coming out for me. It's an Incubus story that has Stephanie Swan Quills guest starring as no, it's not Incubus, Succubus story, where Stephanie Swan Quills, an old friend of mine, is playing the voice of the succubus, who is an insane creature and torments this young man for a long time and basically tries to eventually kill him. And she did a fantastic job on that. Super sick. And I can't wait for you all to hear it. It was really good. All right. Yeah. Hey, Samantha, you passed the test and you earned it. So thank you, my friend, and may you go forth and prosper. All right. So Black Eyed Kids. Zen 2011. Hello, with a wavy hand. Hello to yourself, my friend, and thank you very much for the super chat. You are being added once again. You're a recurring, a repeat customer, or recurring. What do you call that? You've got a habit of getting on this list, my friend, and I appreciate you for that. So let's do that. And let me be clear. I don't hand out mods for people's monetary donations. It's for them passing tests of will that I administer secretly, usually. That time I actually said it pretty out loud. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to get into that now. Ashtulu, you said you've been a fan for a while but never joined a stream until now. Hey, we do have a really awesome community here. I appreciate them, and y'all are freaking awesome. Definitely appreciate and love all of you. All right, so we're going to get into this now. I'm sure you'll have a lot to add to this one as well. Yes, Zen 2011, you are definitely one of my beloved sponsors. And Night Companion, I'm not sure you failed tests. You might have. I have vague memories of such things. We'll see. All right, here we go. There's always a chance for redemption. Imagine a lonely night in your lovely home. Suddenly, you notice a group of boys lurking around your home. Suddenly, you notice a group of boys lurking around outside. That would be bad enough as it is. But what if they turned out to be something beyond human? Listen to this uniquely haunting account from a subscriber and let me know what you think. Dear Mr. X, my name is Anna. Something happened to me a while back that sent me into a bit of a research rabbit hole. I won't bore you with all the details, but suffice it to say, I don't seem to be the only person to have an encounter with these mysterious, black-eyed children. I'm sure you and even your viewers are well aware of this phenomenon. Still, I wanted to tell my own personal disturbing encounter. I actually have a feeling that this one may be unique among the sea of creepy encounters out there. In all my research, I haven't found any quite like it. I'll let you be the judge. So, a couple of years ago, I was at home sitting on the couch in my living room, working on some late-night homework assignments. It was around midnight when an eerie feeling came over me. I noticed the hairs on the back of my neck begin to stand up, as I suddenly got the strong feeling I was being watched. I got up and looked around me, slowly surveying the room. When my gaze passed by the front window, my heart nearly jumped out of my chest at what I saw. I caught a glimpse of 3 young boys, probably teenagers, standing under the street light across the street from my home. They were all wearing black sweaters with the hoods pulled up, along with black or really dark-colored jeans. Before I continue, I need to explain the layout of my living room where this all took place. There are a bunch of windows throughout the space. The couch that I was sitting on faces the front door, and there's a window next to the door. Since my house, like many of the houses on my block, doesn't have a peephole, we would usually just look out that window when someone rang the doorbell. When I saw the boys, I was a little unnerved, but I decided to simply write them off as just a bunch of kids who decided to stay out late. I stared at them for a moment or two before going back to my homework. That feeling of unease didn't go away, though. Instead, it slowly festered, becoming more intense over time. I eventually got so creeped out that I had to do something about it. I turned my head up again to check on the situation outside, but I saw something that I could not understand. The view out the narrow front window next to my door was now completely dark, like something was blocking it. I couldn't see a thing out of it. There go those mouth clicks. I couldn't see a thing out of it. I slowly sat up and focused my vision before realizing that what I was looking at was actually black fabric through the glass. I slowly sat up and focused my vision before realizing, goodness gracious. I slowly sat up and focused my vision before realizing that what I was looking at through the glass was actually black fabric. I examined it more closely and realized that one of the boys was standing directly in front of the window, blocking my view entirely. Upon realizing this, I unintentionally let out a deep, rasping breath. It was the sound of pure terror. It was the sound of pure terror. Hearing my own voice like that made my heart sink even further as I recoiled, nearly falling backward onto the floor. One important thing I forgot to mention is that I live in a split-level home. The window the boy was blocking is past the end of a small deck, with stairs leading up to the front door. There's nothing to stand on beneath that window. It's almost 10 feet off the ground. How he was able to be there and block my view boggles my mind to this day. He looked like he was simply standing on solid ground, but in reality, he must have either been on a ladder or maybe even just floating there. A soft knocking began to ring out from the door before I could gather my thoughts. The knocks almost seemed to echo in my head as I stared at the boy in the window. I could see his eyes. They were completely black, like each one was carved out of onyx. The entire surface of each eye was an endless void. I felt a visceral, paradoxical urge to get out of my house as quickly as possible. Like I was being called, pulled to do so. I had to resist no matter what because somehow I knew it was what the boys wanted. They seemed to be waiting silently and patiently for me to heed the call. Holy crap, Mr. Creepypasta. Hold on, I just had to pause this for a second. I haven't seen him in a stream in many, many moons. Thank you very much, my friend. And I'm adding you to the sponsor list. It's crazy. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you, Spike. All right. Yeah, let's go. Let's get back into this real quick. It's the last thing I said. You guys all know who Mr. Creepypasta is, right? I don't have to freaking pretend like you don't already subscribe to him or know who he is. Nothing silly like that. Yes, in my streams, MCP, anybody who sends a super chat gets read out at the end of an episode as a sponsor. Super dope. I appreciate you. And Zen 2011, thanks again for a double sponsor. Very nice. You guys are killing it. I'm feeling the love on my birthday today. Absolutely. All right. Okay. Let me see. Where did I start? Where did I leave off? Oh my goodness. Double sponsor MCP. Have a good birthday, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. That's awesome. You guys are all awesome, and I'm feeling so appreciated right now. I'm super glad I decided to read this extra last story, because MCP wouldn't have had time to come through. I appreciate y'all. Rawati, hello there, my friend. Oh, Akamafika. Everybody's coming through now. All right, I'm going to get back into the story as soon as I find out where I was. I knew that's what they wanted. Okay, got it. Back into it. You all are freaking awesome. They seemed to be waiting silently and patiently for me to heed that call. I decided to remove myself from the scenario. I calmly closed my computer screen, got up and shuffled cautiously by the window, making my way to the stairs up to my room. The boy in the window simply stood there, staring at me, motionless. 10 or 15 minutes later, I was restless. I came back down, pausing for a moment on a landing in the stairs to peek out a different window. The three boys were back underneath the streetlight. They were huddled together as if they were having a conversation. A moment after I started staring, all three of them turned and stared up at me with those soulless pits where their eyes should have been. The sight admittedly struck fear into my chest. I did my best to ignore them as I turned the lights off, gathered my things, and went back upstairs. As I went to turn the last light off, I saw through another window that there were 2 more boys standing on my back patio. These 2 appeared to be significantly older and taller than the first 3. They were dressed the same, but I could see a bit of their hair peeking out from beneath their hoods. One blonde, one brunette. They stepped into the light, one at a time, and then they noticed I had seen them. My only thought was, oh, hell no, as I quickly made my way back up to my room. That's my girl right there. Good instincts. Ever since that night, the feeling of unease has never completely left me. Whenever it's dark out, I can sense them watching from the shadows. Every time I walk past a window, I expect to see one of them standing there with that eerie, patient stillness. Every time I walk past a window, I expect to see one of them standing there with that eerie, patient stillness. I realized something that may be related to this encounter. For as long as I can remember, I would always get the strong urge to take a walk late at night, especially when I couldn't sleep. I now wonder if somehow these strange beings were working on me from all the way back then, a lot longer than I thought. A few weeks after the encounter, I decided I didn't want to let these things get the better of me. I went out for an early morning walk around 3 a.m. for some reason. I know that might seem super weird. but it was something I was accustomed to. I put on some warm clothes, grabbed my house key, and went downstairs. Determined not to show fear, I chalked it up to my paranoia when I thought I saw someone standing in the corner of another living room window. However, despite my best efforts, an intense feeling of dread hit me as soon as I went out and locked the door behind me. I almost broke down and turned back, but I didn't want to be defeated. I gritted my teeth and descended the stairs to get to the sidewalk. I only made it a few steps before I was confronted with a terrifying sight. I looked down the street ahead to see a shadowy, hooded form, followed by many more. Several boys standing side by side, only about a block away from me. I quickly turned around to see another group of boys blocking the road in the opposite direction. Suddenly, everywhere I looked, every path of escape, they were there, boxing me in. Every path except for one. I turned around and sprinted for my front door. My hands trembled as I fumbled with the key to let myself back inside. That was the last time I saw them in the real world. I will probably never leave my house at such a late hour again. Unfortunately, they've now transitioned into haunting my dreams. The settings and occurrences are always different, but the message remains the same. They never speak a word aloud, but I know their intentions well. They tell me without telling me, "We're coming for you." Thank you for listening, Mr. X. Sincerely, Anna. Anna. Can't change up the pronunciation between takes there. Alright, so, got another, Aaron McCreeps, You were not on the sponsor list before, were you? And now you are. Man, I got a lot of sponsors today. You guys are destroying it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Happy birthday, X. Appreciate you. All right. All this lovely birthday wishes. I appreciate y'all very much. Oh, Remus Plays Pretend. This is Elin. This is the new, what was your one before? Little Snips? That was your name before, wasn't it, Elin? I have a pretty good memory for names. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. All right, so I'm gonna tell my this is the last story. This I don't even know if you guys are aware, but I have a playlist. If you look at my channel, if you ever want to watch the streams again, you can look at there's a playlist for, I think it's called New Live Streams, and they're unlisted, but it should be on there on the playlist. I believe that should work. And yeah, go ahead and do check that out if you want to go back and rewatch any of these live streams. Let's Read gave me that idea to do that. Hopefully it's working the way I think it's working. But in the meantime, I'm going to read my comments that I have on this. This is one of my favorite black-eyed children's stories, very unique. I'm going to ask a few questions, and I want you all to, like always, give me your comments, your observations, anything that crossed your mind about this story to add to the conversation so that we can have this little, you know how I like to do the discussion segment after the stories in all my videos. So, you know, just a way to get you all engaged and participating and immortalizing your words and your names on YouTube in the never-ending vast sea of digital information. Zen 2011, what are you drinking? I'm drinking water, which is typically what I'm drinking when I'm drinking anything. So yeah, go ahead and start typing in whatever observations you made or any questions or things that you wanted to point out or discuss, and I will add that in. I actually do have a little bit to say about this, though, in the meantime. All right, so we'll go back and do that. All right, my friends, MrXDreams here. Now, this is a pretty unique case of black-eyed kids, as far as I've ever seen. Usually in the cases I've come across online, there's one or two young children with fully black eyes basically trying to convince or guilt someone into letting the kids into their home. This one was unique, though, because of the sheer number of assailants involved. I actually looked into the origins of the whole BEK, Black-Eyed Kids, mythology, and apparently the first known mention of them came from some kind of mailing list involving a journalist in the late 1990s or something like that. So although many people have described encounters with similar beings, the existence of these beings is a hotly debated matter, as you could imagine. Here on the MrXDreams channel, though, we like to use our imaginations and suspend our disbelief once in a while, speculating in the realm that lies a bit further beyond the mundane. I'm sure you can imagine where this is going now. A concept that comes up quite often here, the idea that the more people believe in something, the more real it becomes. The idea that if we believe hard enough, an unreal thing can become real. Tulpas. A definition I saw online describes the concept of a tulpa as a thought form, a being created from the collective thoughts of humanity. The concept of tulpas is said to originate from Tibetan Buddhist mythology. Very interesting. Where they are described as extra bodies that can be created from a human mind as a vessel for traveling to spiritual realms. That whole concept is something that I really, really want to dig into in a standalone tulpa exploration video one day. And I'm sure that's going to be a freaking amazing ride whenever I get around to doing that. So, what do you think about this story? Do you think it could be normal boys playing tricks and pranks on their neighbor? Or might there be something more sinister, more paranormal at play here? If you saw someone staring at you from an above-ground window, from the outside, a place where no one should be able to stand, what would you do? What about if you felt that paradoxical urge to leave the safety of your home, exposing yourself to a danger you know you could not possibly comprehend? Let me know in the comment section down below. So now I'm going to open up the floor to the dreamers that are listening live as I'm reading this story. Remember, if you want a chance to have your question or comment show up in a future video, or a chance to sponsor a future video, make sure you turn on those notifications so that you catch the live readings and discussion. Always a good time there. So let's see what they had to say. All right. Got some good stuff going already. Thank you, folks. Very good. Okay, got some good ones. Man, got plenty of really good questions and comments here. Loving it. Gonna go out with a bang with this last story. Whoa. A video where someone shot a black-eyed kid? That's, sounds intense. Okay, I'm still adding more of these awesome little comments that you guys have popped in, and I will. Okay, ooh, Cindy, interesting contribution as always. Even though I don't think you even meant to that time, you're just that good. Okay, yeah, good one, Reed. Yeah. See, I like these comments that you all provide are so helpful to me because I get to actually, it gives me more back and forth. I can bounce things off of you and then you bounce them off of me. I love that kind of thing. And it really adds a lot of value to the stories, in my opinion. All right, Lori. Who said the thing about that? Okay. There you go. That's a good place for that one. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right, so Brenda Whitehead says, "That's the most organized I've ever heard of the BEK. They almost seemed militant in their attack." Yes, I absolutely agree. And that's one of the things I found fascinating about this iteration of them, this story. The fact that it's a seemingly coordinated harassment of someone. And especially at the end of the story or towards the end of the story, where she is basically boxed in. I mean, they're almost locking arms, shoulder to shoulder, stopping her from going outside of her house. And it also seemed like they never really made a major effort to enter her house. So what are they even there for, I wonder? Really perplexing. Dark Phoenix says, don't ever trust kids that knock on your door around after midnight, because they're black-eyed kids. Don't let them in. Perhaps they have some power of mind control. I would say, Dark Phoenix, don't let any kids into your house after midnight, because unless there's some dire emergency, like you see a flaming vehicle turned over in the middle of the road and a kid is trying to get your help so that you could call police and fire department or something, I probably would hesitate to open the door for any kid, or maybe even any person, period. Maybe I'm just too paranoid, who knows. The Lionheart021 says, why hasn't anyone tried to fight these kids off? Also, I think the BEKs are more of a Western thing. I would agree. I mean, I haven't heard any stories of BEKs from anywhere in the near or far or Middle East. So, I don't know. I have a feeling, though, there might be some kind of Japanese yokai monsters or something that line up pretty well with that, because there's about 1 million of those. Lori Long says, the best way to combat them is not to engage. Don't give them what they ask for. Absolutely agree. Whether they're real paranormal entities or just kids messing with you at midnight or 3 in the morning, it's probably better not to engage. Rawati says, Mr. Creepypasta has an amazing Tulpa story on his channel. I'm sure he does. He's been at it for a minute, and I guarantee you, I do need to check that out, though. I'll probably add his story into my playlist of research that I'm going to do, or whenever I actually do a deep dive into tulpas, because it's one of the most fascinating concepts to me, period. Cindy says, I live in the woods, no neighbors. Anyone looking in my windows is in danger. Yeah, that's hardcore, Cindy. But I can't blame you. If you're living out in the woods, it is what it is. People need to know better when they're dealing with denizens of the woods like yourself. All right. Reed says, in most BEK stories, they tend not to come back after the initial encounter. I've never heard about them transitioning from the physical into the dream realm either. Pretty intense. I agree. This whole situation just kind of screams of that there's more to it that perhaps we're not understanding, and maybe we never will. Not sure. Samantha says, maybe in an alternate universe, black eyes are normal and the kids still have enough imagination that they can slip the veil. Maybe they're just curious. That's a really interesting idea, Samantha. I'm glad I added this one at the end here. Very interesting. They're from another dimension where they could easily slip back and forth, and they just want to know what the inside of people's houses look like. Maybe. Very interesting. I need to add this onto my Word document here. Zucker, hello there, my friend. I'm late? Is it your B-day? All the best wishes. It's my birthday. I'm celebrating it now with you all. It was a couple days ago. and I was away, but now I'm here and I'm able to hang out with y'all and have a fantastic, awesome time. And it's coming to a close now, but I'm going to be leaving this video up for you all to watch and catch up on, or whatever you need to do. But we do need a code word for this one. Oh, wait a minute. I got a couple more people that popped in here. Ray Ayanami, hello there, my friend. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Aaron, yes, Slender Man is considered a tulpa to some people, but also no real reason to believe that he's a physical being either. So, I don't know. Uvo Zod, check out Twin Peaks. I've been hearing a lot about that lately. Night Companion, you've been having some encounters with BEKs on Fort Bragg, is that right? Well, yes, Fort Bragg is probably the worst place for BEKs to show up for obvious reasons. Let me see here. Qualify. Who said something qualify? Yeah. Okay. Code word tulpa. Why not? Brenda. Okay. Here we go. Finish this one up. All right. And so through the magic of technology and editing, maybe a little time travel mixed in there, Brenda Whitehead came up with the code word tulpa. So, if you're listening to this part of the video, the very end, if you're still here, type the word tulpa into your comment down below so I can see you. Take care, my friends. Later. All right. I got 4 done. 4 done. BEK invasion. Awesome. Okay, so you know what? Normally I don't record this part with you all listening. I record it afterwards, but I just realized there's no reason for me to not record it with you all listening. So I'm going to record the sponsor list that's going to go at the end of all 4 of these episodes. If you give me 1 second. I see what you said there, Shin Fitz. Best defense against black-eyed kids is Anakin Skywalker, because we all know he has no qualms about handling his business in that department. All right, so as we come to the end of this wonderful, beautiful stream, all the love that I've felt with my birthday stream here, you guys are awesome. I'm going to read out the names of my sponsors for this next month in the order in which they appeared. Here we go. Special thanks to this week's Super Chat sponsors. Who Gives a? Henry Vang, Shinfitz, Angela Radlove, Cindy S., Jessica D., Cancionero, Lila Catherine, Reed, Tarico, Lori Long, Brenda, Arlene, Samantha, The Lionheart 021, Zen 2011, Mr. Creepypasta, Aaron McCreeps, Zucker. Thank you all very, very much for showing me so much love on my birthday. All right, that ought to do it. Export that bad boy. Yeah, you guys killed it. You guys killed it today. Very, very much so. Let's say today's the 12th, 0612. Just taking care of some clerical work real quick so that I don't accidentally reread the same stories in the future. All right. All right, my friends. So I am going to wind this thing down. Thank you all again for putting up with the low lighting and the verbal mistakes. I did pretty good today. I don't think I got too many things messed up. But yeah. Oh, you want to know how old I am? I'm surprised nobody asked that already. I am 36 this week. Yep, 36 years on this earth, as far as I know. So, yeah. It's been doing okay so far, and hopefully we'll have a couple more years and to enjoy my family, my friends, you lovely folks, and I hope the same for all of you. I hope that we're all here 36 years from now still doing live streams. That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? An old Mr. X Dreams who's like 72 years old. That'd be ridiculous. Yep. Yeah, I'm a youngin', I guess, to some people. It's all a matter of perspective, I guess. Yeah, I'm definitely going to I need some more. Oh, you're saying I look younger than 36? I appreciate that. I need some more I need some ideas for merch stuff. If y'all, oh my goodness. My Discord. I keep trying to push it, but I never remember to do it. I keep telling myself to push it, but I never remember to. If you go to how do you even do that? I think it's on my Twitter. I've got Discord. I have this Discord server that is really a lot of fun. It's like all these different pages on it and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but it is a lot of fun. So, and I also put little voting things like people with these 4 stories, for example, that I just recorded. The people on the Discord are able to vote on which one is going to come out first when I produce it. So I really should prepare how, like, in the way that I'm going to advertise this. I'll do something at the beginning of the videos or something. But yeah, I'm trying to get more people to get eyes on that Discord server so that I could kind of communicate with you more directly on a more regular basis, I guess. Because the people that, you tell me about their dreams, any experiences that they have, or sometimes they just want to post memes or have fun or laugh at stuff. That's the kind of stuff that goes on the Discord. So if you look up the Discord, it's just called Mr. X Dreams. If you type that in on Discord, you'll see it. There's only like a handful of members there now, but we're already having some pretty good fun there. So y'all check that out, and definitely hit me up on there. You'll be able to kind of talk to me more directly in that environment. So yeah, Discord is weird to me too, and I don't really understand it to this day yet, but I'm getting there. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with it, and I'm working on that. Yeah. Maybe I'll make a Discord server for merch ideas for you guys to come up with and throw at me so that we can create some cool stuff together. So, oh man, unknown comic, you'll be 90 in 36 years. Yeah, hey, one can only hope to reach such heights. Okay, let me see here. What did Ambar say? You guys will listen to anything I read. I'm going to put that to the test one day and start reading something crazy out here. But yeah, anyway, before I overstay my welcome, my friends, I want to thank you all again for showing me so much love today. It was a great stream. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all did too. Love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And it's time for me to go pass out in my bed. And yeah, I will. I'm gonna put a link. Well, there's a link to the Discord in my I think on my Twitter. Yeah, if you go to the pinned comment on one of the pinned comments on my Twitter, you'll see that link. Let me just make sure that it's still there. Oh wow, the link is expired. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do another one right now just to make sure that it gets there. All right, I'm gonna post on my Twitter a new link to my Discord so that you can join it. All right, so if you see that link on if you go to my Twitter right now, you'll see a link to a Discord. It should work. Oh, Zucker, thank you very much for a triple sponsor situation you got going here. Yeah, everybody, I enjoyed. Oh, Nikki Nicole, I don't think I said your name today, Nikki Nicole. I appreciate you. You have a good night as well. Yeah, let's do that. Meet me on the Discord if you have any more ideas, because those are already pretty cool. All right, well, again, my friends, you all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. You got Sunday. Enjoy every day, even Monday. All right? So until next time, my friends, I'm Mr. X, and may your nights be full of dreams. Later.